certainly is. You're the first one in here, by golly. K6 Whiskey India Sugar, K6 MYC, how copy?
Oh, good evening, Mike. K6 NYC, this is K6 WIS. It's actually about a 5x3 right now. I just finished the QSRs with the Clear Lake Club stuff here. KA6 and N1 PPP, over.
Okay, very good. I'll put in 160 and 336. Thank you. Good signal. Yeah, very nice copy. I'm pointed right towards Santa Cruz.
Okay, yeah, that's why your signal's a little bit down right now. I'm pointing at the bay here, so that's not Optimum Pass, but, I still got you Q5, over.
Well, I went north and you went down, so I went south a little bit, but I came back. That seemed to be on the peak, wherever it's coming from, or whatever, over.
Yeah, I switched south towards Santa Cruz, and your signal stayed the same, and right into the Bay Area. So, yeah, I guess propagations are not as optimum as it used to be on the down south between us, over.
Yeah, well, if you stick around, we can look for you. You are usually very nice copy on the direct path, too. There's more fading, but you have some giant peaks on the direct path, so if you're still around in 10 minutes or so when we get up that way, that'll be good. Anyway, good to hear you, and thanks for checking in the other two guys. I have called them on occasion. Once in a while, they call me when there isn't you or Dennis to pick them up there. I did work them on a direct connection the other night, I think last week. Anyway, we've got 432 fixed, so we should be in good shape on 432 for Thursday. That's all repaired. We found it, the shield part of the hard line. I have 1.25 inch hard line going up the tower on 432. And the shield had broken away from the connector. That's a long story, but that basically was it. I had no shield on the last bit of coax going to the antennas, over. Just for fun, I turned the antenna while you were talking all the way up to 300 degrees, and you just got weaker and weaker, and you were barely perceptible at 300 degrees, and you just got stronger and stronger until I got back here to about 275. So it's something different in the path tonight. Anyway, thanks for checking in, and we'll see you in a few minutes, and maybe we'll even see you later. If you have time to pop in onto 6 meters, we'll be looking for you there as well. 73 K6 WIS, K6 MYC, looking for KW6S, KW6S, K6 MYC. And he's usually a little late. He's got another net that he's trying to finish up with. So let me go up into the Bay Area and see if we can get Fred or anybody here. This should be pretty close to you, Fred. KD6SOK, KD6SOK, K6MYC.
Hey, good evening, Mike, and good evening, Jim, DQL, and good evening, Paul. KD6SOK. Mike, you're weaker now. You were pointed, I don't know where you were telling us earlier, you were really strong. You were talking at me, but I'm getting a little bit of chatter. It's a beautiful day out here, so let's see. Is this any better, Mike? Go ahead.
Well, I moved the antenna a little bit, Fred. I've got your Q5, but you're not real strong. Let me check things here. Give me another 10 or 15 seconds of chatter, Fred, and I'll make sure I'm not vertically polarized there, over.
Okay, oh, wow. So, I didn't know you were could go vertically polarized, so you have a vertical antenna. Yeah, that's naughty. You're supposed to get... Oh, okay, let's see. Hopefully that's better. You always want to score something, man, for sure. It was a gorgeous day, so back to you, Mike, KD6S, okay.
Yeah, KD6S, okay. It came up a little bit, Fred. It wasn't... I was still horizontally polarized. When I go vertical, you disappear altogether. So that's all working good. We do have the 220 antenna structurally repaired. One of the overhead supports for the long 40-foot boom had come loose, and the whole thing was drooping. One of the 220 antennas was drooping badly on one side. So we got that fixed yesterday. When Frank, W6BBS, was here, he did about 6 hours worth of work there, including fixing a bad piece of coax that had gone bad because it had slipped and had pulled the connector loose from the braid or from the shield. It's 1.25" coax. You wouldn't think it would do that, but the weight of 90 feet of it hanging on that connector was just too much, I guess. Anyway, he got it fixed up, and it should be better on 432. All that stuff was repaired on 432. 220 didn't have much of a problem in terms of VSWR, but it had this mechanical problem. So the antennas at least are straight, and I don't think that had much effect on the overall performance. And is a little bit up and down today. A little unstable. I think you guys have got a little more weather coming in over there. A little rain's expected. We got a thought that they may have some rain here, 10 to 20% or something, but nothing happened here yesterday or today, and it doesn't look like it's going to the rest of the week either. So it's stable over here. It's still pretty warm, but we did not break 70 today. We only got out to about 65. So that's the story here, Fred. Anyway, good to hear you. Thanks for checking in. And I'm sure you're spending a little bit of time keeping track of this history-making activity over there in Iran, off the coast of Iran, with the military and the Navy taking care of all the ships in the Iranian Navy. They are all on the bottom of the ocean at this point. All 11 of their vessels are on the bottom of the ocean. Along with a lot of other little catastrophes, like the whole upper echelon of the leadership there is gone. 7-3 back to you, Fred. KD6S, okay, K6MYC.
Yeah, waiting for this spike in the oil prices of this gas pump. I'm not sure when that's going to hit. On Friday, a barrel of oil was $62, and today it's over 71. So I'm waiting for the huge spike in gasoline prices coming up. So we'll see what happens. And the Strait of Hormuz is blocked, so that's good. Wonderful. Great. 86, that's okay.
Yeah, well, what I just heard a few minutes ago was right from one of the negotiators. I just got a mental blank on his name, but one of our negotiators in the attempts to make a treaty or something with the Iranians, and the last word they heard from the Iranians was, "We're not going to do anything to our nuclear program. We've got enough 50% grade uranium to have 11 more nuclear weapons, and we can do it in as short a time as a week. It would probably take 2 weeks, but we could do it in a week." So that was all that Trump needed. You didn't know that, and we didn't know that, but that was one of the things that triggered him to do it. And he was going to do it anyway, but that was the end of the negotiations. When they told us to take our hats and go home, and we're going to kick your ass, and we knew a little better than that. Anyway, interesting stuff, Fred. History making, you got to keep track of it. Anyway, 7-3, thanks very much for popping in here. Good to hear you. KD6S, okay for your final. Have a good, we'll maybe see you tomorrow. Look for you on 1296 tomorrow, Fred. See you before the end of the week here. I don't know if you've checked your 2 meters lately, but you probably have that terrible noise. KD6S, okay, K6MYC.
Yeah, I checked last night on the 2-meter band, and the noise was so awful, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't get the rack. It was so bad, I turned it off. Because I knew this was Sunday night net, so I thought, oh, I'll just check it for fun. Right? And it was just terrible, so I gave up.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll look for you on 1296 anyway. Luckily, the noise doesn't go all the way up to that frequency, Fred. 7-3. Have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow. KD6SOK, K6MYC, clear and listening for WB6JNN, probably.
111.
W6PQL.
Okay, and 111 is here, and PQL is here, but I did not hear. I didn't hear the other one. So, Russ, take a quickie, and then if you want, shoot it over to Jim. I'm sure he'll hear you. K6KLY 111, K6MYC.
Yeah, okay, Mike. Well, you're Q5, but only about S5 up here tonight. I don't know if you have the beam pointed up here towards the Bay Area yet or not. But so I'd check in, and well, anyway, the Beauvais guys are on the air, but they've the only time they've been on 40 sideband that you wanted, they were just not out here on the West Coast, only to the East Coast. They've been out here, though, a little bit on 40 CW. Over to Jim. Take it away, K6KL1.
Yeah, what time were they trying on 40-meter sideband?
Over here tonight. Even though I'm not pointed at you, you're 20 over. And my key is about the same over here as you was in your place. About S5 mic. But the band is up and down. Sometimes you're S0, and other times you're S7. So you're kind of right in the middle right now. Nothing to report except enjoying the nice weather. It's still nice. K6MYC, W6PQL.
Yeah, no, I got you. I was swinging the antenna back and forth. I swung it up your way, and I went too far. I was asking Russ, what time were they on 40-meter sideband that they didn't think they had the West Coast, over?
Yeah, between 3 and 4 in the afternoon, over.
Well, that's okay. I can work about that hour, believe it or not. I've had contact with Africa on the short path as early as 1 o'clock in the morning and 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, over.
Yeah, Roger. You know, they're not fully organized yet. They're just really getting going. But you know, I could see the guys on the East Coast calling them normally up at 10 to 15. And they were on 7250, listening up 10 to 15, over.
Yeah, okay. Well, I only care about working them on 40 just for fun. So no sweat, but if they do show up again and stay on a little longer, then we should have a real good shot at them. If they go on to 0200 or so, that should be a real slam dunk. That should be their morning time almost over there. Okay. Thanks, Russ. Good luck with them. Although you say you have them on most bands, but there's a few bands that you still would like to catch them on. So at least they're functional or on the island, and that's a big thing in itself. The last couple of attempts have never gotten to the island. Okay, Jim, W6PQL. This should be okay. K6MYC.
Yeah, Mike, I'm not going to slide up 10 kilohertz. I'm not copying you very well right now. You know, the band is usually a little bit better. Later in the evening, I'll give you a message either on CW or on 6 meters as to whether or not I'm able to get a hold of Steve tonight. 7-3s for now, W6PQL. 285.
Okay, I hear 285. Hang on a second, Jim. Okay. Well, Jim, I'm baffled. I'm running a full 800, maybe more, closer to 900 out, and you're very Q5, not having any trouble at all. You must have that noise on 222. But good luck, and we'll look for you sending 52, and we'll look for you on 6 meters later. W6PQL, K6MYC.
Okay, Mike. Catch you later.
Okay, Jim, pick it up, and I'll peek on you if you give me a long enough time there, Jim. WB6JNN, K6MYC.
Okay, K6MYC, WB6JNN, Willie Baker 6, Japan, Norway, in San Jose, California. You are only about S4, S5. I don't know if you're peaked on me, but I'll give you a little bit of chatter here, and that should give you time to swing around a little bit and see what you can find out. So, K6MYC, WB6JNN.
Well, I'm baffled because you're at least S5 here. No worries. I thought we had everything fixed on. There wasn't any problem on 220. I don't know why everybody's hearing me weakly. The amp's running fine, and I'm getting full power out. And I think Frank checked the VSWRs on the antennas, but I don't show anything major here in the shack. So we'll have to give it another look when he's back in a couple of days. But we're copying you fine, Jim. Solid copy. And I swung back and forth about 10 degrees, plus or minus 10 degrees, and it's diffused. The path is all over the place. I didn't see hardly any change on your signal. WB6JNN, K6MYC.
Yeah, okay, Mike.
AM6SRR.
Well, I look like I'm oops, somebody in there. I look like I'm about the normal kind of strength that I would be on the internet here. So the path seems to be reasonable, so I'm not sure what's going on in that regard. But you are not as strong as you can be. Most of the time you're S7 or above, and recently been S9. But who knows? All right. K6MYC, WB6JNN.
Okay, well, right now I've got the antenna where you would normally peak, but again, I can't tell the difference between 276 and 282 to 285 where I am now. And then I went up over 292. When you picked it up, I had it at 292 for Jim. And it didn't make any difference when I came back here. So your signal is splattering all over the place there. Anyway, I won't keep you, but good evening, and I guess you probably will not be checking in on 6, but we'll look forward to hearing you if you do. Thanks much, and of course we'll look for you tomorrow night on 1296. Everything should be okay, and hopefully the path is half decent, and we'll catch you on 1296 tomorrow. And one night was quite good once you'd raised the antenna a little bit there. WB6JNN 73 K6MYC.
73, Mike. WB6JNN.
Okay. Good evening, Rob. KM6SRR. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Just got done with our local Aries net, and 1200 KN6UKN is here also. What numbers have you gotten so far?
Oh, I got a whole bunch here. Let me see if I can regurgitate. First, we started with, I think Fred was the first one.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, a question for you. Where'd you hear that Iran has enough plutonium to make 10 to 11 bombs?
I'm sorry, Fred. I didn't quite follow that. Say it again.
Yeah, where'd you hear the information that Iran has enough nuclear material, plutonium, to make 10 to 11 atomic bombs? Where'd you hear that?
That was straight from the horse's mouth. That was what the Iranians told the negotiating team, Stryker, I think his name is. Oh, for heaven's sake. I just heard the guy's name, and I said it 3 or 4 times at dinner here. But, the one of them is his son-in-law, and the other one was the other negotiator that was over there. And they met with the Iranians 3 times in the last week before we started this action. And it was the last meeting, and it came right from the horse's mouth. The guy was sitting at the table opposite the Iranians, and they told him that, and he reiterated that to Sean Hannity. Over.
Yeah, that's just complete bullshit, because there's no way they would have that much plutonium. I don't know if you studied nuclear weapons like I have. I've studied nuclear weapons for years. I'm nearly an expert on it. And a plutonium bomb takes 9 pounds. So they're saying that we have 99 to 100 pounds of plutonium. There's no fucking way, because to get that much bomb-grade plutonium would take years and years and years. And I mean, it's such a massive feat to do that. So they were just blowing smoke. There's no way they have that much plutonium. The most they had was maybe for 1 bomb or 2 bombs, but not 10 to 11. That's complete BS.
Well, it turns out we have a pretty good feel for how much they have. And I heard they had even lower grade stuff. They had 690 kilograms. That's a lot of stuff. Now that was 20%. I think he said 690 kilograms at 20%, and they figured they could get it to a weapons grade in about a month. And the other stuff was I can't remember how much, but they said it was enough to make 10 or 11. They said 11 nuclear bombs, and they would have it to 90% within a week or two. It was at 50%. They had stored this and had it stored in a secret place that wasn't anywhere near where they had where the bombs hit the other part of it. So it may be BS, and it wouldn't put it past you. But what are you going to do? Are you going to believe them? If they're not even willing to negotiate and they tell you to go shove it, we're going to put 11 bombs together. You either tell them to their face they're full of crap, but either way, you're not getting anywhere with your negotiations, are you?
Because I spent years studying nuclear physics. That's not even possible even in the United States. You have to do your own reading and research, but don't believe all this garbage. It's a bunch of bullshit, okay? And chemical weapons, I mean, that's a complete nonsense. I mean, the Israelis only have 3 nuclear weapons. It takes incredible amounts of money, incredible amounts of effort, and only superpowers like the United States and Russia can do it. I mean, even China is struggling to get nuclear weapons. They're ramping up right now. So I wouldn't believe any of this stuff. And if they said, oh, shove it, so what? I would have just, I would have laughed in their face. Prove it is what I would say. So anyway, don't believe all this nonsense. It's absolute garbage.
Okay. Well, I can't argue one way or the other, Fred. All I can tell you is what came right across without any questions that they couldn't have that much. There's never been a question that they wouldn't have a large amount, and they had a lot more than that before we started. And they were further along with a huge amount of numbers when we dropped the Moabs on them over.
Yeah, and then Trump says, what was it, 7 months ago? We completely destroyed their nuclear weapons, bro. It's completely gone. There's nothing there. Oh, okay, and now you're attacking them again. Wonderful. So what is the truth? Was the first thing you said a lie? Or is it now, you discovered it wasn't completely destroyed? I don't believe anything the guy says, because he makes up stuff as he goes along. What's the plan here? It just makes no sense. In the meantime, people get killed. It's a big freaking mess. And wars are not easy to figure out. It's not just, it just doesn't go the way you think it's going to go. Just talk to the Germans, talk to the British, talk to the French. Wars never go the way you think they're going to go. They always go sideways or something else is going on. I mean, anyway, I don't want to convince you of anything because people have their minds made up. I see everything. They know what they're talking about. They know what's going on. That's fine. Believe what you want to believe, but it's just, I don't want to hear the nonsense. 86, that's okay.
Okay. Well, I'll take your input like I take all the other inputs, Fred, and we weigh it against all the other inputs and try to make sense of it. All I can tell you is what I heard from a fairly reputable source. When the guy sitting across the table from him, I have to believe what at least what he heard, he repeated. Whether it could be done or not is another question. I'm sure that he's not a nuclear expert in terms of that, but I'm probably pretty sure he had a pretty good idea how much it takes to make a bomb. So I'm not arguing with you in any way, shape, or form, Fred. I'm just trying to make sense out of it. And if they tell you that in the middle of the last stages of the negotiations, they're not going to stop anything else they're doing either. And like right now, they're telling us that we better watch out. They're going to annihilate us, and they're going to annihilate Israel. So that's BS also, isn't it?
They're not going to annihilate us. They're not going to annihilate the Israelis. That's never going to happen. Besides, the Israelis have a nuclear weapon. And if they get it, and they have a plan, if anybody drops a nuke on Israel, the country that does it will be vaporized. And they too have nuclear weapons. Nobody else in the Middle East has them, but Israel does. And they will use them. So, anyway, I don't want to continue talking to you about this because it's such a bunch of BS and nonsense. I mean, believe what you want to believe. I would have laughed in the guy's face when he said that to me. And said, well, prove it, fine. You know, I would have said you're full of shit and walked off.
Well, you could do that, but it might not be the best negotiation process. Anyway, I think that they did what they could in terms of trying to work out some kind of a deal. We even offered them all the nuclear stuff that they needed for their own and energy-producing stuff for free for 10 or 11 years, and they didn't take that either, so they weren't going to negotiate it. It was fairly simple. Anyway, I can't go any further with it because I don't know any more than that, Fred. But I thought it was interesting that we heard that as a very defined quantity. Anyway, for what it's worth, it will be shot down for sure by you and other experts if it's not true. Let me get it back. Who is it going to now? Let's see. I think we got everybody else in here, except I wasn't sure who had it when you picked it up again, Fred. Let me take a standby and see who else is in here. Rob, were you in here for? Were you hearing? You are not hearing Fred, are you?
Nope, I'm not hearing him. KM6SR.
Okay. Anyway, 7:30, Fred, and maybe we'll know some more tomorrow and chat about it on 1296. KD6SOK, K6MYC.
73 Mike, KD6S, okay.
K6US.
K6US. Good evening, Aaron.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Yeah, K6US 1079 and Bozo 1100. And I'm going to make it real quick because I got to go set up a humidifier for a sick kid. So I'll be back. And Rob has the list. I sent it to him, so you don't have to tell him who checked in. He's got all the numbers. K6US.
Okay, thanks for that. That's what I was going to do before Fred came in with his devastating comments here. Rob didn't hear those. But did you hear the stream?
I turned the stream on late. I would have liked to hear what he had to say, KM6SR.
I was asking Aaron if he heard the stream from Fred. I guess Aaron's not copying me that well.
He had to take care of a humidifier with a sick kid, so he's probably gone.
Yeah, no, I heard that. Well, Fred basically said they're full of crap. They couldn't have anywhere near that amount of material. It would, even the United States doesn't have that much material. Well, I would I would doubt that. I did hear also that they have made their own centrifuges, so they're not relying on outside centrifuges, and the centrifuges have been running in this secondary area from what they tell you, from what we heard. We thought we got all the centrifuges, I think, with the Moabs, but they apparently have another area. And their home-built or their Iranian-built centrifuges have been running continually since before and after and up till now. They're probably still going tonight. So they have a fair amount of nuclear material, that's for sure. And that was ascertained way before we even started this, way back before we even dropped the bombs. So who knows? I don't know, but Fred seems to be coming from a very educated point. He studied this stuff for years and worked with it, so I can't argue with that. Anyway, let's see anybody else in the area that wants to check in here. We're missing KW6S. Are you here yet, Tom? KW6 Sugar. Let me go back his way. KW6S. KW6S, K6MYC. I wonder where Tom is tonight. He said he would be here. Okay, back to the Bay Area. Bay Area. Late to anybody else for 222. K6MYC, over. Okay, going on up to Oakley here. Let's see, Oakley. N6RO, N6 Radio Oscar, K6MYC.
Yeah, K6MYC, N6RO, Bozo 835. High temperature 70. You copy me okay?
Yeah, sounds good. A little scratchy for some reason, but not bad. And you got warmer temperatures up there than we had today. I don't think we broke 66.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of variation, over 140 miles. Had another experiment with dinner tonight. Way back when I was growing up in New York State, my mother made chicken livers and onions. And my second wife also did it, but not often enough. So I had somehow it popped into my head. I bought some chicken livers, and tonight was the night. Did it all in one big frying pan, and with some red potatoes and carrots thrown in there with the onions and chicken livers. Really good. A lot of spices too. N6RO.
Yeah, I like liver. I wasn't much of a fan of it when I was a kid, but I grew to like it. It's very rich, and I think that's what always was overwhelming to me when I was a kid. Just cooked liver. My mother had, it was better than shoe leather by any means. She knew how to cook it to keep it tender, but I never got to like it till later. But that was regular liver. I can't remember if I've ever had chicken livers by themselves, but I would imagine that they're a bit more tender than cow liver, over. You're not hearing me, Ken?
You took a fade there at the end, but yeah, okay, on your chicken liver history. Figured in cooking them is don't overcook them. Once beyond 5 minutes, they can turn into pretty tough stuff. But I lucked out tonight. I only had them on medium heat for about 5 minutes, and I threw them in with the onions and the other veggies in another 3 minutes. Came out okay. I'm going to try it again next week.
Well, maybe it's something that I'll mention to Matt, and maybe he'll try it one of these days. We had tongue the other night. I finished leftover cow tongue last night. That was excellent. I always loved tongue.
What was last night?
I said I always loved tongue.
Yeah, I've never gotten into that, but I'm not against it. Probably try some beef liver the next time. That takes a little bit a different technique, but as long as I don't overcook it, it'll be okay.
Yeah, sounds good. Certainly healthy. I'm sure that chicken livers are very healthy. Liver generally is a very rich and nutritious meat. Okay, let's see, 70 degrees. Yeah, we were 65 today. Things cooled down a little bit here. We were overcast a little bit. We did have some sun. and sun most of the day, but it was kind of thin. Toward the end of the day, it cleared up. We had mostly blue skies with just scattered clouds, but it just never got all that warm. Even at 6 o'clock or 5:30 when we were outside chit-chatting, it was okay, but it wasn't warm like it had been. There you go. We'll let you go, and we'll see you on 6 meters in a few minutes, Ken. Let's see. Let's see if Rob, are you hearing Ken?
Yep, I was hearing him a little bit, kind of low. Yeah, I was up at Oakhurst the middle of the day. It was kind of warm, and we went up to fish camp to check out the cabin, and there was snow up there on the ground, about 6 inches.
Okay. Did you copy anything from Rob? He said he was up at fish camp today. Fish camp up in the Sierras, northwest of us here, and there he had about 6 inches of snow on the ground. Did you copy that, Ken?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't.
We got 52.
I got an M3 noise level, which is not all that great, but on this band, you're getting it over it fine by a couple S units, but anybody else I can't hear.
Okay, very good. I hear somebody else underneath you, so let's see who that is. Who's the other station that wants to get in? K6MYC.
We got 52, W6PQL.
Oh, we got 52. Okay, you're copying me pointed toward Ken, but you can't copy me toward you. Can't copy me toward you either. Let me go back for PQL just a second here. Let's see if this should help. Is that any better, Jim? W6PQL, is that any better?
Yeah, it is. It's intermittent, Sometimes it'll pop up, a car drives by or something like that up between me and Ken, and I can hear you. And other times I can't hear you. So just it's catch as catch can.
That's weird. I'm not getting any big change between 290 and 304 for you. Oh, sorry, you're having trouble there. Ken, are you copying Jim?
I'm not pointing at Jim.
Well, I know that, but I can hear Jim anywhere.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right. Anyway, I'll see you on 6.
Sure.
And by the way, Rob, Jim reports he did work number 52, so I got 52 on the list here. Thank you, Ken. We'll see you in a few minutes. N6 Radio Oscar in the group, K6MYC going to Sacramento. Let's try this. See if we can get through to Bill there. KO6KD. KO6KD, K6MYC, Bozo Net, over.
Yeah, KO6KD, Bozo 776, checking in. How copy, Mike?
Yeah, fine. You got motorboating on you, but otherwise it's good copy, over.
Yeah, okay. I'll try just a little bit back. How about I moved it? I don't know if that's going to make any difference or not. Probably just the band conditions, over.
Are you moving your antenna? Because I was moving mine at the same time, and you're better now than you were when you started.
Okay, yeah, well, I guess that's what it took then. A little bit on your end, a little on mine.
Yeah, a little of each. How's your receive audio tonight?
Say it again. What was that? How's my what?
I said, how is your receive signal strength tonight?
You're pretty weak right now. It's a little tough. But I don't have a lot of noise. But I don't dare turn on the preamp on the Mirage, because if I do, then you'll probably disappear altogether.
Oh, I agree with that. No point in turning that on. Are you listening to the stream?
No, I put that on hold because I have it about 6 or 7 seconds at least delay. So I'm not listening to it now. I put it on pause. I'll go back and listen to it later.
Well, you ought to turn it on right now and listen to yourself when you think it's weak. When you hear me weak, and then you should hear how you sound. Over.
Okay, well, I'm trying it now. Let's see if it syncs with you or not. Oh, there we go. Okay, now. Okay. Well, that's not too bad. You're hearing me better than I'm hearing you.
Yeah, right now you're going into a little fade. You're down, but you're probably having real trouble with me. Over. See, you're not even hearing me now.
I can hear you on the stream, but I'm not hearing you. Not hearing you direct. That's weird. I don't know, Mike. I don't know what the answer to it is. Maybe it's just the antenna that's giving me. I've got a good SWR, but I just don't know why I'm just not able to hear.
Well, I'm not trying to say it's the antenna, Bill. It's the preamp or something in that circuitry that's costing you more, about 10 dB poorer signal than you should be hearing. I'm running not exactly 10 dB more, but I'm running 8 dB stronger signal than you are. Over.
Yeah, well, now you're up to about an S6, so I'm hearing you fine now at an S6, whereas before you were down to about where my noise floor was at about an S2.
Now listen to yourself.
Wow, looks like you get me with about an S7 is what I guess you're hearing me at. That's a big difference. And you are not running preamps?
No preamp. Every bit of 300 feet of feed line.
Okay, that time you came up to an S8, so that was a big difference.
Well, you should hear it on yourself, too. You're a nice copy here. Okay, I just wanted you to be able to hear it so you could hear what I'm hearing and versus what you're hearing on my signal on the direct path. All right, let you go. We'll look for you on 6 in a few minutes, and you could probably do the same thing on 6, and it would be interesting to see what you think there. Although I think you're running... Yeah, okay. Hang on just a second. I think you're running about... 800 or 900 on 6, so it'd be quite equal tonight on 6 meters, Bill. 7-3 for now, and we'll see you in a few minutes on 6. KO6KD, K6MYC. Rob, I'll be back in just a second.
Yeah, okay. I'll see you on 6 meters and...
Roger, Mike, KM6SR.
To see what the difference is between 200 watts on my 7700 and 800 watts using the Mercury Lux. So anyway, I'd like to try that if we got the time tonight. Anyway, all right, 7-3 for now, KO6KD.
Hi, good evening, Bill. KO6KD. This is K6WIS.
Good, Paul.
Okay.
You can 5x7 into Placerville there, Bill.
Yeah, much stronger signal now. Boy, you're strong now, Paul.
I'm not even pointing towards you, so... Yep, you got a nice signal here, Paul. Nice to hear you.
Yeah, very strong here, Paul.
So, 73 for now, and over to Mike, K6NYC. This is K6WIS direct path. You're peaking about an S7 there, Mike, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you're very strong here. Very strong, nice signal. Very, very good copy. About 10 dB, at least 10 dB, better than what you were on the bounce path tonight. So the direct path for 222 between you and I really works.
Roger, yeah, when we are on the propagation peak, it's pretty good, but there's deep QSB fading. Sometimes your signal fades down to like an S2, over.
Well, you could look at the stream right now. You're down a little bit and a little flutter on you, but still very Q5 and much stronger than you were on the bounce path.
Yeah, Roger, the peak signal is better usually on direct path on 222. So, anyway, thanks, Mike, for the contact, and 73's guys, this is K6WIS clear.
Okay, well, don't go too clear. I need we think KM6SRR is going to be on 222 tonight, so you might have a listen for him. KM6SRR. No. KR6MR. KR6MR. K6MYC. Are you there, John? I don't hear John. Do you, Paul?
No, I have not heard KR6MR. Does he have 222? I'm looking back at my logs to see if I ever contacted him on 222.
Oh, this is new. He just put up the 220 antenna this weekend. If he got it all up and running. Bill didn't say whether he had it on or not. Let me go back and get Bill for a second here. Bill, KO6KD, does John have his 222 running tonight, over? KO6KD, Bill, K6MYC.
KO6KD, this is K6WIS, are you still on frequency?
Well, we'll look for him on 6. He's supposed to have the tower back up again today, but if he isn't there on 6, then he wouldn't have been there on 2 either. It means he did not finish with this stuff on the tower, and he does not have the tower back up again. Thank you, Paul. 73, maybe we'll see you in a few minutes here on 6. About 10 minutes or less, we'll be on 6. Over.
Okay, Roger that. 73 for now. K6WIS clear.
Yeah, 73. Okay, anybody else on 220 before I go to Nevada? Here we are in Nevada. KE7UQL, Kilo Echo 7, Uniform Quebec, London. KE7UQL, KE6MYC, over. KE7UQL, Kilo Echo 7, Uniform Quebec, London. K6MYC, over. KE7UQL, Kilo Echo 7, Uniform Quebec, London. KE7UQL. K6MYC. He probably fell asleep on the living room floor, Rob. Sounds like OIB down the band working Ralph.
Your frequency, Mike.
I got it, but I can't make anything move here. Can you fix it?
You already are. I already brought you back on frequency. K6US.
Yeah, I can't understand that because I had the dial locked out.
This is 272.
Oh, there's 272. Thank you. Hang on just a second, Daniel. So what do you think happened? Maybe if I push the buttons on the top of the microphone, maybe I may move the frequency with that. Over.
Yes, that can be, and of course we can turn those off at some point if you accidentally hit them more, but that's probably what happened. You were up at 103 K6US.
I know I was up at 103. It was reading me that back. I pushed the read back and it said, when I started the net though, I was at 100.000 because I listened to it. So somehow I must have bumped the button there and I heard everybody down here. Did I hear OIB working, or was that Rob that was so loud? Somebody was loud and splattering, and it might have been you or Rob. Over.
Yeah, I talked to you, Mike. Telling you I thought you might be on frequency KM6SRR.
Now, see, but the frequency knob was locked, so I couldn't tune you in. That was the problem. I thought, well, how in the hell did I get off frequency if I didn't bump the knob and the knob doesn't do anything? But I must have bumped the knob. I don't know how I bumped the knob on the mics. I've never done that. But yeah, we could probably turn those buttons off. They're just they're acted and waiting to happen, Aaron. All right, let me get with Daniel. Daniel, good signal. KE7UQL, K6MYC. Got your 272.
Roger, thank you. Yes, you're a little faded this time around, a little bit faded, but we can hear you. Over.
Well, there is some up and down. You're coming up real strong right now, so it's good. Rob, are you hearing Daniel?
On the stream, but not really over the air.
Okay, nothing over the air for Rob tonight with this whole loop. Hi. All right, Daniel, thank you very much. Good signal here, and we'll look for you, of course, tomorrow night. Is 1296 running for you tomorrow night?
We'll stay negative on that, negative on 1296. We're going to get a little wind and a little rain the next couple of days.
Okay. No possibility on 1296 tomorrow. Okay. Well, we may just go up there and look for you briefly, but we won't spend a lot of time at it. Thank you, Daniel. 70 trees, and sorry nobody else here to work you tonight.
Okay, Roger. Well, look for you on Wednesday. Look for you Wednesday on 144. Here is KE7UQL saying good night, Mike.
Okay, good night. 73, Daniel. KE7UQL, K6MYC.
73.
Yeah, I heard him that time, Mike. KM6SRR.
Go ahead.
I'm barefoot. I don't have the amp up, so he won't hear me.
Okay, he's hearing you now on the whole loop, Daniel. Shows you got a good signal down this way. KE7UQL 73. He just doesn't have the amp turned on, no. K6MYC.
Roger. Thank you. KM6SRR. Good evening. KE7UQL 73.
Roger. He said thanks in 73, Rob.
Yep, I heard him. 73, Daniel, but I don't think he's hearing me. No, I got the amp out of the station because I tore it all apart and put it back together.
Yeah, Roger. Have you got the 432 repaired yet?
Nope, it will be a couple weeks more at least.
Oh, is it you? Are you doing it, or are you going to have somebody else do it?
Ken offered to help me, but he's got to go up north to see his old childhood buddy that he's known for a long time. He went into hospice, so Ken's going to go up there. That's more important.
Yes. Okay. And if there was a trip or a reason to go, you could have it hauled up to Fremont, and Jim could probably fix it in 20 minutes, but I don't anticipate any trips right now that I know of going that way. Over.
Yeah, I suppose that'd probably be the better thing to do. I don't know. I may think about it.
Well, I wasn't thinking of you, but I was thinking, my guys go up that way from time to time, and one of my sons lives in Patterson, which is just over the hill from Fremont. If he was to come over here, he could take it over there, too.
Well, those are all options. I'm not ruling anything out.
All right, we'll keep it open. 73 here, and let's go over to 6 meters. K6MYC, Bozo Net, Bozo 47 in Delta Mike 07, Delta Bravo, closing the 222 net here on March 2nd. March 2nd? Yeah, March 2nd, 2026.
we go over to 6 meters, K6US.
Okay, here we are on 6 meters, K6MYC Bozo Net.
694 BNW6 TBS.
Oh, good evening, Ben. Nice signal. Boy, you're Johnny on the spot here, aren't you?
Yeah, I was just waiting on you. And KJ6TYO1009.
GGY.
Yeah, I got 1009. Who was the last one? I guess that was it. Good evening, Ron. Good evening, Ben.
WB6GGY.
WB6GGY. Good evening, Phil. Good to hear you here. How's the tongue doing?
It's still aching, and I'm going to keep it short, so thank you very much for the check-in. Bozo 884.
Yeah, good, and good signal, too. I'm being due north, so I'm surprised I'm hearing you that well. Will you guys stand by a second before I start the net officially here? I got to run outside and water the grass.
KM6SRR, K6US.
K6US, KM6SR.
Yeah, you must be pointed a different direction. I can't hear you down here. I'm only hearing you on Mike's radio.
Okay, I had it pointed up to Nevada area like Mike likes to start. I'm coming down.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I just figured we'd fill the air here. And hi, Ron. How's it going?
Going good. Finally got to be out here.
I hear somebody call my name, but I'm not pointed right.
Yeah, it's good to have you out here on 6 meters. Now we just got to get you on 222.
Yeah, I don't see that happening unless a radio falls in my lap. And hey, guess what? I don't think there's any out there.
No, yeah, it's pretty slim pickings nowadays. Anyways, we'll see if Mike is back from watering the grass. K6US.
All right, KJ6TYO. We're out here listening.
How you doing, Ron? KJ6TYO, KM6SR.
Hey, good evening, Rob. Doing good. How about you?
Oh, probably better than I deserve, I guess. Also want to give a shout out to Ben and then, of course, Aaron.
Well, Ben, go ahead. Well, Ben's in and out already, I guess.
About right. K6US 1079 and Bozo 1100.
Got your 1079 and 1100. There you are.
And KM6SR and KN6UKN, 432 and 1200.
432 and 1200 are logged. By the way, Rob, we did not get a confirmation, nor did we see a log from you for yesterday. Did you get Judy's picture?
Yes, I did, and I sent it off. I also sent you a copy of what I think it was
Richard sent when he was over there in Norway.
I got that, but Judy said she didn't get any information from you. You know, I had 2 more than you did, over.
I don't think so. That's what I sent back on a text, but I guess she didn't get the text. I saw where you had down Larry twice. 719 was twice. And then there was another one, I forget what it was. Something wasn't right. So let me look at my phone. I'll tell you what I texted you.
Yeah, she did not get anything from you. At least, well, we got a lot of other emails, so maybe it got tangled in something that... But she commented to me this morning she had not received a Bozo log from you.
Okay, I can look on my email and see, but the text I sent back to her last night, you had 719 in there twice, and you had 712. And I remember asking you if Kerry was in there, and you said no, he wasn't, so I took 712 off my list, and it was still on yours.
Well, you know, I remember writing 712 in there because I thought I heard him once. It was quite a few people all at once, and I could have swore I heard 712, so I wrote it down and I never thought more about it, but you're right. I remember writing it now kind of smaller than the other numbers, but I did get it written in there quickly. And I probably did write Larry twice because he was in and out a couple of times as he turned around to say hello to Rick down there.
Yep, roger on that. I thought I heard Kerry also. That's why I put him down. But you said absolutely not when I talked to you about it, so I took it off.
Yep. Okay, well then your 42 was the same as my 42. It's just that mine was garbled. I'm liable to do that. See, I can't cross-check myself when I write somebody down. I figure it's better to have them down twice than not at all, huh?
Yep, that sounds good to me.
We know they can't check in twice on one night, so that's obviously just all it does is screw up Judy's count when she doesn't catch it. She's pretty good at catching dupes, but a lot of times I'll say, you know, I'm not sure, but I might have checked Larry in twice. So look for another 719 on there, and then she'll either find it or say, no, I don't see it. So this time we missed it, sorry. But it looks like you got it taken care of, and thanks for confirming that you did get the log and it's in all in good shape. I was afraid that her sheet didn't get through to you and you had to hold off. So that's good news. Okay, we're good. Let's see, Larry in 7 Whiskey Tango. He hasn't come out of his lethargy for a month or so now. Anybody else up in Nevada that's copying, come on in now. K6MOIC, Central California.
You doubled with me, Mike, when I was talking to you. I did send the email to you last night also, so you should have that too.
Okay. I'll look for it, or I'll tell Judy to look for it. It must be in there. We did get the Northern Lights one.
All right, that's good. That was kind of a cool picture.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet, but I will tonight. All righty. Well, I don't hear anybody else up there, so I'm going to start swinging it to Nevada. I mean to Sacramento. Somewhere around KR6MR. John, are you here? KR6MR. K6MYC. KO6KD. Are you copying me here, Bill? K6MYC. Oh, I hear somebody way down in there. Is anybody hearing anything?
I hear you, Mike.
is that?
N6BCC.
Oh, okay. Hi, Merle. Sorry. 1134. We've got you in here.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, well, you're getting out just fine, and I'm only running about 50 watts, so they should hear you.
Yeah, you're very loud. I'm pointed clear up at 334, so I'm not sure why you're so loud here. Hope it's nothing's wrong with my calibration here. Anyway, it's if I can hear you, I should hear the guys in Sacramento. KO6KD, Bill, where are you? K6MYC.
Yeah, Mike, I think I barely hear you through my noise. KA6NYC from KO6KD, Bozo 776.
Yeah, listen to the stream, Bill. Listen to the stream. 776, listen to the stream. Over.
Roger, I got the stream on right now. I was several seconds behind, so I reloaded it. So I'm about 3 seconds or 4 seconds behind you. And wow, sounds like you're hearing me great. I got this localized noise here, and it's just killing me, man.
Yeah, I don't hear anything from John. Give me a little more signal. I'll see if I can peek and get you a little more RF here. Hang on.
Okay, I'll give you a little more peek. As I tell you, I have not heard from John either. He did not come up on our local 2-meter chit-chat channel, and so I called him a few times, sent him a text message. He responded that the tower is still down. He's still working on it, and he's got only 20 watts on 1.2, so he's not sure if he's going to get the tower back up by tomorrow or not, but he is definitely not here tonight. Over.
Roger, what was his power on 1296?
He only had 20 watts. He said he was only getting 20 watts out, and I thought, great, not that again.
Yeah, boy, he's sure having fits with that band. I don't know what he's doing. Sorry, you're not copying. I'm peaked on you, and you're just super loud here, so you can tell on the stream that there's you got a bodacious signal. Over.
Yeah, I can tell you. You're hearing me very, very good. Can you leave it right there where it's at? And, I mean, I'm an alligator. I got all mouth and no ears. But could I switch from here and go over to the 7700? I'm using the Mercury Lux right now with about 900 watts. I like to go back to the 7700 just to get an idea the difference that makes just going back down to barefoot on the 7700. You got just a minute to play for just a sec?
Yeah, Roger, and you're peaking S6. You're peaking S6. I don't know if you've got the S meter on this radio on the screen there or not. Aaron, if you're here, does this 6-meter stream have my S meter on the radio? I guess only people looking at the stream would be able to answer that.
Yes, it shows.
Oh, who is that?
It's Merle again.
What do you see, Merle, on the stream?
Well, when you're talking on the stream there, you're doing about a S5, S6, and when the other person was talking, they'd have to come back again, but it looked like they're doing about a 9, if I recall.
Well, that's not on the stream. That's on your S meter?
No, it's sitting there looking on YouTube there on the stream. I can't hear them on my radio, so my antenna's not pointed that way.
Oh, okay. Well, you're hearing Bill on the stream, and he's an S9. Okay.
Yeah, he was really good.
Well, he's S6 on the meter. I'm watching my S meter here. You're not seeing a picture of my meter?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can see your meter working just fine.
Go ahead, Bill.
KM6SRR.
Hang on, Rob.
This is just on the 7700. This is the way it is without running the Mercury Lux. And this is just barefoot on the 7700, which is about 150, not quite 200 watts. Over.
Roger, and you're hearing yourself on the stream very nicely, right?
Yes, I'm hearing myself. I wish I could hear you that well, and I would if I didn't have this S8 to S9 of noise, like I was explaining earlier today on 40 meters. It's something that's going on locally in the area that I've had to contend with. Now, it'll shut off probably in about 2 hours, and it'll be quiet until probably 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So I have no idea what it is, but it's something that somebody's doing locally here. So anyway, but I just wanted to see what the difference was between barefoot on the 7700 versus going through the Lux on the 7610.
Yeah, well, you're not moving my S meter on the S meter, but you're certainly loud enough to read. Very good, strong signal, and you'll hear it on the stream there. Now, let me shoot it over to, hang on a second, Merle. What did you have, Rob?
I was just going to tell you that I see your S meter on the YouTube on the stream, and I couldn't see any deflection at all for Bill. When you were talking, it was between S1 and sometimes went up to S9. I'm looking at myself now, and it's S9.
Yeah, you're about S9. That's right. I don't think I must have this thing switched. There should be an attenuator on the screen. I must have the attenuator in because you're stronger than that. You're questioningly loud, but there's something on the screen that look right in the middle, right underneath the frequency there, where it says, and there's a blob that should say attenuator or something there. It says antenna 2. I'm on antenna 2. That means I've got 2 preamps in.
Okay, this is back over on the Lux again. Wow, that seems to be a big difference. Okay, thanks, Mike. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the test. 7-3, I'll see you in the morning, Mike, on 40. KO6KD.
Okay. Just give me one more little bit of boost there, Bill, and I'll look at your S meter again.
Yeah, Bill is up to an S3 there, Mike, on the last one.
You want me to chat a little more? All right, very good.
Yeah, Mike.
Okay, here we go. 4. Hello.
Yeah, about S5 on that one. It's up and down. Not a QSB, but that's a good strong signal, though. Obviously, you can hear S5. There's something not right here. I must not have my. It says attenuator. Oh, I know what that is. That's attenuator 2. I think I got the attenuator in here. That's what's wrong. Hang on a second, guys. Bear with me a second. If I could see the screen better, I could do this. Let me go here. Now let me have chatter, Bill. Rob, you go ahead. I can get the S meter from you. You were S9. Now, go ahead, Rob. Rob, go ahead.
Did you want me to say something again, Mike? Ouch. UFO.
Bill, and hopefully you were slightly louder on the 7700 by about a half an S unit and 6RO.
I'm louder on the 7700.
I think so, but as Mike said, there's some QSB on the band tonight.
Oh, wow. Well, there's a huge difference. I'm running a little over 900 watts on this radio and only about 150 to 175 on the 7700. That's quite interesting.
Well, I might be upside down.
It's what now?
I may be upside down.
Well,
if you want to try it again, it takes a while to switch them, I guess.
okay. Well, I'll
All right, hold on just a second here. All right, this, I'm still pointing towards Mike. All right, so this is on the 7610 with the amplifier. Standby 1. Take me 30 seconds. I'll be back over on the 7700 KO6 Kitty.
Roger.
Yeah, I believe I got this thing on antenna too. Can somebody read that right below? It would be right underneath the one, right underneath the 50. It says antenna something.
That says amp 2, Mike.
Yeah, okay, that's preamp number 2. I got both preamps on. I was just looking for more S-meter movement. It's very, very minimal tonight. Even Ken's roaring in here, and you only have 7, Ken, but big signal. Let me get you logged in. 835, go ahead, K6MYC.
Yeah, okay, Mike. It's still running on check with Bill up there. He's switching to another rig.
Okay, well, here I am back on the 7700 now, about 175 watts.
Okay, it's a half the unit down from the other combination.
What'd you say about his sound?
Well, that's not very much. Well, that's good enough for me. At least I know that the thing is working. Thanks for the, thank you for testing it out. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, okay, it's more like an S unit, which makes more sense. Good luck with it, Bill.
Yeah, go back on the amp now. I see S1 to S2 maximum on the 7700, Bill. But go back onto the amp now. I think you run about S5.
Okay. All right. This is 7700 barefoot, and stand by. I'm going back to the amp on the other radio.
Yeah, you're right around S2 on the peaks. If you can watch the meter, Rob, it would be helpful because I don't trust my eyes.
And this is on the...
Roger, Mike. You're only getting to S2.
You were doubled up. Go ahead again, Bill.
Okay, sorry. When I can't hear anything, I don't know who I'm doubling with. All right. Anyway, this is on the 7610 with the amplifier, and that's. I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference on your end, but okay. Anyway, it's just a test. Just wanted to see, if the Lux is working. I guess it is.
Well, not by much. I would say it's. How much you got onto the out of the 77? How much barefoot?
There, Mike. KM6SR.
It's supposed to be 200 watts. So if it's 200 watts, and this on the Lux is 900.
Okay, well that should be a little over 6 dB, which is an S unit, and it should make more difference than it is, though, Bill. Boy, it's a very slim S unit.
That's what I see here.
Very interesting. Well, I don't know what the reason for it is. Well, anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to probably, I don't know. We'll see what's going on here. I may be giving this back to the owner and moving on with something else.
Well, is that all you can get out of the Lux? I thought it was a 1500 watt amp.
Not on 6 meters. On 6 meters, it's only good for about 900.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ken reports about the same slim S unit. Down at that end of the scale, you know, one S unit is, you're very lucky if it's 3 or 4 dB. So it should be 6 dB and a good strong S unit, and it could be. I guess we'd have to run the test with quicker switching and no band QSB, but it's not a bodacious difference. So your 200 watts is doing fine. In the audios, I can't tell any difference in the audio quality and punch and all. What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I wonder if it's a matter of match between the two radios. Probably not.
Yeah.
Antenna.
What kind of a match?
Just an impedance match, you know. It's the same SWR on the two radios.
Well, he's playing into the same antenna, so I assume that the SWR is the same.
Yeah, right.
One may handle the BSWR differently if it's a high one, but I don't think you have almost no mismatch, do you, Bill?
Well, looking at the outboard watt meter, no, it's laying flat. Looking at the lux, it shows about a 1.4 at full power.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, shouldn't make that much difference. Okay, well, anyway, no worries. Good test, but as you can see, if you really want to make a difference, I guess you got to go more than the 200 watts is a big change. A lot of guys run 100 watts on 6, and then when you go to 900, that's almost 10 dB. But you're not, and that's a big difference. That's a couple of S units usually at least. So we're just not seeing that here. Rob, do you agree with these readings that we're getting on my radio?
Yeah, I think so, Mike. When I'm looking at it, Bill's not even making any noise at all. Ken is an S7, and I'm reading an X9 when I'm looking at it right now. You're coming about an S2, S3.
Well, I'm not. I'm moving the S meter on a different. The S meter is in a different mode here. It's just reading audio level, so it's not an S meter reading on my voice.
Okay, well, yours is like a red bar. Everybody else's is a white bar. It goes up.
Yeah, just don't pay attention to the meter when I'm talking. It doesn't ever go up very far. But that's just an audio level thing. Maybe a power, average output power or something. You see, when I whistle it up, it goes up to, what, 20 over?
Yep, 20 over.
Yeah, there you go. So that's just output. That's just an output meter in that mode. What you're seeing on average is just the average when the meter doesn't hardly deflect more than 2 or 3 S units. But that's 200 or 300 watts, and the full power output is, I think I'm running about 70. It says 70 watts out. I'm driving the amp with 70 watts, which gives me a full 1,500 out of the amp. And then whatever the losses are over that 900 foot to get to the top of the tower and into the antenna. So if I'm getting half of that up to the antenna, I'd be surprised, but that's neither here nor there. Doesn't have any bearing on these measurements with Bill. All right. Good to hear you again, Ken. Anything further to comment on other than burp, chicken livers?
No. A slight correction on the high temperature. It was 70 yesterday, 66 today, so it's more in line with what you had. But it was nice outside. I did spend a little time doing a chore or two. So we'll see on that very high band tomorrow in 6RO.
That very high band, the microwave band, so to speak. 1296 tomorrow, guys, for whoever could make it. Sometimes we get more on that band than we do here on 6 meters, particularly when Mikey is loafing it and screwing up like he is tonight. Let's move along. Let me see. Merle's in here. Merle, have you been putting up with all this crap? N6CHH, K6MYC.
Yeah, I've been listening to it, N6BCC. Yeah, Ken was booming in here pretty good. With Mike, when he had the amp on, he was louder to me. He sounded a lot louder, and then he did run it barefoot. And he had a little more of a signal and stuff, so it's working for him. Definitely working for him. But yeah, I'm only running about 50 watts tonight. I've been running a lot lower power here lately. In fact, they're on 80 meters. I've only been running about 20 watts.
Yeah, well, you're touching the S7 mark here. You're sure blowing a hole in the band.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, I don't know, it's just good conditions tonight and stuff. And I find, too, that by running a little bit lower power, my audio is even that much better for some reason. And stuff like that. But yeah, hey, I did a good one. I blew out my eardrum the other day. So I'm having to take all kinds of antibiotics for that and stuff like that, and I have to wear a patch over my ear to keep any kind of cold air or any dirt out and stuff till the eardrum heals.
So what did you do to blow out your eardrum?
Yeah, I ruptured my eardrum on one ear.
I say, how did you do it? Judy walked in just at that point. I had to turn the audio off so I could hear what she said. Go ahead.
Hi, Roger. Yeah, well, what was going on is I was weed eating, and I hit, I guess, some dried foliage and stuff, and it flew up into my face, and it started coming up. I turned my head, and I guess a piece went in my ear and popped my eardrum. And let me tell you, it hurts. It's miserable.
Yeah, what was it you hit?
A stick.
Oh, a stick in the eye or a stick in the ear. They're both not going to make you feel good. My God, that's an unusual thing. The weed eater would have enough force to blow a stick up, and you got to watch where you're weed eating. You should have had a faceplate on.
Yeah, I should have had something, but I guess from now on I'm going to wear ear protectors when I'm weed eating, because that really, really hurts. And I wasn't going to go to the doctor at first till I noticed I was bleeding, and I said, well, I think I better go in and see the doctor about it. And I'm glad I did, because it's getting infected and all that, so he gave me antibiotics and all kinds of good stuff.
When did the stick go in? How long ago?
That happened Friday.
Oh, Friday. Well, yeah, by this time it could be starting to get infected. And was the stick still in there, or did you pull it out?
Yeah, normally they just break up and go, but I caught it just right. And, and I run an Echo weed eater, and that thing's got some power to it. And oh, well, hey, it could be a lot worse, I guess. But, yeah, doggone, I'm sitting there looking at the stream as I'm talking. Man, what a difference now on this setup here since when I first started here on 6 meters talking to you.
Yeah, for 50 watts, you're blowing a big hole. Go back again to the stick in the ear. I asked you if you pulled it out, or did they find it?
Oh, I didn't even know it was even in there. There was a little tiny piece that broke off, and what was still in the ear he pulled out when he took and stuck his scope in there. He took and saw it and everything and pulled out the stick and stuff, and just a little teeny tiny piece. I guess it's all it takes. I guess some eardrums are pretty sensitive to that kind of stuff.
Well, luckily it bled. You've got lots of circulation. It should heal. What did the doctor say? It won't leave a hole in your eardrum. You'll just have a sore eardrum for a while, but that should heal up. Over.
Hey, Roger. Yep, it'll heal up. He goes, the infection should be gone in about 7 days, 7 to 10 days, and it should heal up completely. Usually, he goes, it just all depends, He goes, you're fairly healthy, so it could be anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. My ear should be healed back up enough. If I'm still having problems in a couple of weeks or so, let him know, and he'll take a look at it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, okay. Well, when I'm weed eating in any sensitive areas, when you're just doing grass around the front yard, there's usually not a lot of crap in it. So I don't worry about it too much. I sometimes wear safety glasses, or I put on the industrial squint. You know what that is. But no, I have a face mask that is like a welder's mask, but it's all clear. And that should have been on there, and then you wouldn't have had to turn away. So you really don't have to protect your ears normally, because the little pieces, unless they bounce off of something else and come in from the side, you should always be looking at what you're weed eating and not turn sideways to it. And you wouldn't have had you had the face mask on, because it wouldn't have even been hitting your face. Over.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, I got one of those face plates and stuff, and I have it for the turning wood. They're on the wood lathe and stuff, and I know better. I should have been using it, and I wasn't. So, it's just a freak accident. It happened. It's a wake-up call to, kind of hit me on top of that concrete block on top of my shoulders there, and everything to, hey, use safety gear.
Exactly. Okay, well, gee, I'm sorry to hear that, and hopefully it doesn't cause any long-term damage. Usually eardrums will heal. I know that they can cut into them or cut through them, or they don't like to. They don't like to puncture your eardrum, but they usually heal. When you're 105, it's going to affect your hearing, though, I can tell you that.
I probably won't see 105. And I say that, and I probably will, and I'll be sitting there in my wheelchair dribbling down my chin. Oh, goodness. I don't care if I get old as long as I'm not an invalid. But yeah, right now I can't hardly hear out of that ear, so it's a little weird for me. But it's not the first time I punctured an eardrum, so I kind of been through it before. It was my other one that I punctured last time, but that was a whole different thing there. It's when I was still pulling wrenches on automotive and everything, and that was bad. I had stitches in my ear and everything else. So sometime I'll tell you that little story.
It bothers me just to hear about it. I've got horrible ears. I've had 2 operations on one ear. I had an implant put in so I could help me hear better, and then it was taken out. So there was 2 operations and just doing that. So my right ear has been rebuilt. It never worked in the first place, and now it works even less. So I know what it sounds like to have not a good ear on one side. Well, hopefully that eardrum will heal up for you, and you won't have any issues. It usually it does damage your hearing slightly because you'll have scar tissue there, and it doesn't bounce or doesn't deflect quite as good as it did when you had just pure tissue there. But hopefully it was a tiny little hole, and it may not have that much effect on the overall hearing. But those eardrums are delicate. However, I think you'd rather have it in the ear than the eye.
Hey, Roger, I don't like getting stuff in my eye. I've gotten a lot of garbage in my eyes through the years, and yeah, it's right now my eyes are doing really good. The new prescription and all that stuff from that little episode that I had here in December. I'm doing really good on my vision now, so I definitely don't want nothing messing that up. So, yeah, like I said, good wake-up call. Knocked me on top of that concrete block and woke myself up and said, time to start wearing protective gear again. I better not say it too loud. I'll walk past my dad's urn and he'll sit there and say, I told you so.
Yeah, there you go. You're not as tough as you thought you were, you big boy. Okay. Merle, great to hear you. Sorry about the ear. Hopefully it'll heal properly, and without any issue, you can tell me that next week on 6 or somewhere else, maybe on 2 meters. Take care. N6BCC, K6MYC.
Okay, Mike. Definitely a pleasure talking to you as always. And, like I said, Bill was sounding really good down this way. So we'll catch you later. Tell Judy I said hello, and we'll catch y'all next time. K6MYC, N6BCC. Good evening.
Okay, Bill, let me ask you, Bill, are you still reading this on the stream? So you heard Merle's comments about your amplifier versus the 770-100.
After hearing that, I'm going to get a full head protector while I'm on my tractor with the flail mower.
There you go. Protect that broken head of yours, huh?
Well, I want to keep it out of both my eyes and ears.
Yeah, that's good. That's for sure. You need all those sensory organs if you can keep them. I'm really suffering here with this blindness. It's very frustrating. I'm living with it, but it's not fun.
Roger.
Alrighty.
To improvement on my eyes, but ears are another thing.
Yep. At least you can fix your eyes. I could put lenses. I have cataract lenses in mine already, and my vision's good. It's just that the the optic nerve doesn't take the information from the retina and give it to my brain. Over.
Yeah, that's the complication I hope to avoid. Anyway, I'll keep you posted on my surgeries, and you do the same.
Oh, I'm going to be all excited about hearing about your surgery, yeah. That's all us old guys got to talk about. See you later, Ken. We should have Mario in here and maybe a few others. How about it, Mario? KO6IQR is still in the air there? Yeah, maybe he's all torn down. I guess he had to move today, so he probably not a good day to catch him here. They kicked him out of his house, and now he's moving over to another spot in Turlock, I think. I think he's still in Turlock. How about anybody else here? KD6 Whiskey Victor Lima or W3 WZZ? W6 WZZ. Anybody?
Whiskey 6, Whiskey Zulu.
My area, but here is Whiskey Whiskey November India 1090. But he may not be in the Bay Area.
I hear you, Gary. We'll be with you in a minute, 1090. We've got you logged in, but I'll be there. Hang on a second. And go ahead there, John, W6 WZZ, 1145, K6MYC.
Yes, sir, 1145. I spent the weekend down in Southern California, and it was 90 degrees down there. I was doing a race down there over the weekend. I got a first and 2 seconds, and that was it for the weekend. No radio, no playing. I actually did break out my portable and made a couple of contacts at the end of the day.
Oh, very good. On FM?
No, I took my 891 down with me and an antenna and ran HF.
Oh, okay, very good. So you worked up into the Bay Area?
Actually, no, I worked in, let's see, South Carolina. I got on one of their, I think there was a contest going on. I got in on that, and a couple of guys in Tennessee.
Yeah, okay. Very good. I think you've got the stream playing in the background, or else there's a chatter going on. Very good. Well, wonderful. Congratulations on the winning race there. Wonderful. Sounds like you're one of those extreme bike riders. I never got into bike riding that much. I rode a bike a lot, but I just never was. In our early days, at my age, they didn't have much competitive stuff. It came later. By the time it came, I was riding three wheels.
Yeah, roger that. Well, I am getting older. I'll be 70 this year. Goodness gracious sakes, I'm having a hard time with that. But, there are a lot of us older guys that are competitive in the racing that I do. So it's kind of cool. I have a good time at it. I got good sponsors and keeps me healthy.
Very good. Now, are you racing against younger guys, or you've got age classes?
No, we have age classes. I race the 66 and over cruiser. It's a 24-inch wheelbase bike, one gear, over jumps and corners and stuff like that.
Wow. Okay. Wonderful. Well, again, congratulations for keeping yourself in good shape and proving it to people. Thank you, John. Good to hear you. And we'll look for you on 2 meters as well. W6WZZ, K6MYC.
Hey, Mike, I think I hear Kerry in there, KM6SRR.
K6MYC, W6WZZ.
You need to race down on my three-wheel motor bike.
Yeah, my tricycle. Yeah, you got that, did you, Ken?
Oh, yeah, I use it all the time to go out to the mailbox.
There you go. Okay. Good evening to you, Ken. And I think we've got Kerry in here. Kerry, did we hear you there? KC5DTU, I should say, K6MYC.
Roger. Just waiting for a turn there. Good evening, Michael. Good evening, Rob.
Got your 712. And I got quite a bit of a ration of crap from one of our guys up in the Bay Area. Apparently he's a nuclear scientist or something. I heard on the news, I was watching Kennedy, and the guy that had been in the negotiations the last 3 attempts to try and do a deal as opposed to do the war or the attacks in Iran. He was in there, and the Iranians said, well, we're not going to stop our nuclear program. In fact, we've got enough 50% grade stuff that we can make into 60 and 90% in about a week and a half, that we got enough material to make 11 atomic bombs. And I heard him. He said that's what the Ukrainians stood right across the table from him and told him. So basically the negotiations were over. But a fellow in the Bay Area said that's bullcrap. They couldn't possibly have that much material. Not in a million years would they have that much material to make 11 bombs. Well, I don't know. He said it would take pounds and pounds and years and years and years and years for them to generate that much material. Well, somebody's wrong.
Well, let's not find out.
When you can get it and got it from Hillary Clinton.
What did you say, Ken? Do you have anything to back up one of those statements or the other?
Oh, no. I say, let's not find out which is right.
Well, that's my point. Are you going to argue with them? It doesn't matter. They are also deluded to the fact that they could make us worried by telling us they're going to take us out, and also Israel, and they're going to win. So they're deluded, but I'm not sure they were deluded about that. They were very specific about it. I don't know why they would be. We would be just as much afraid and as much against them doing it if they had said, well, we get enough for one bomb right now. Well, that's enough to stop us from negotiating much more. They're not going to turn that baby off. So 1 or 11, but they made the point of saying they had enough for 11. Somebody had to know something or was fooled.
Well, it's just a shame that it's such a waste of capital and lives. It's just a big mess that we're in now.
A big mess where?
In the Middle East.
Well, I think it's getting resolved very quickly, Ken. A lot of lives were lost. I think right now the current toll for the Iranians that were killed by their own regime is somewhere in excess of 30,000. Over.
Well, it's still a waste of lives on both sides.
Well, not when it's as big a threat as that. I mean, when you've got a nation like Iran that's been telling us that we're the big Satan, and they've been claiming the same thing for 47 years, aren't you going to listen sooner or later? None of the negotiations have ever worked. They've never abided by any of the results of the negotiations. So sooner or later, you got to come to the conclusion that this has got to stop.
Well, yeah, the reasoning is right, but it's the way mankind has been sick for thousands of years.
Well, at this point, though, it's a good option, and it looks like the people of Iran, for the most part, want to get rid of this regime. They've been under this horrible control, and it's been very obvious to them for not quite 47 years when the Ayatollah took over, but finally, after about 4 years, the people realized that they were in deep trouble, and the number of lives that they've taken and the misery they've created, particularly for women, and all the stuff they've done to women over there over the years is just insane. We have lost about 6 of our military guys in this one, but it was because of one of the Iranian missiles that blew up something in Kuwait where we have a base, and 2 of the guys were obviously killed, 3 were injured, and then they found 2 or 3 more in the rubble once they started digging through the piles of gravel. So that's the main loss of life on our side. So from that standpoint, but previous to that, the Iranians have killed 1,000 or more of American people.
Yeah, that just adds to my reflection that it's just a waste.
So it is. There's no question. But sooner or later, maybe we can stop it and stop promoting the promotion of terror and that kind of agony. They've been funding the Hezbollah, Hamas, and all the rest of them for way too long, and they're using those poor bastards to do their dirty work. Anyway, it's a mess. You're right, but maybe something good will come out of it. I believe it will. It may be historic, hopefully. Anyway, good evening, Merle. 7-3 to you. 7-3 to you, John. And let's see if there's anybody else up the valley that wants to check in here. K6MYC and the group standing by. All quiet.
KM6SR.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, Kerry, were you on last night? We thought we heard you, but we didn't know.
Negative. I wasn't on last night. Sundays is the day I spend with my daughter and grandkids.
Okay, anything to report, or do you want to give me a call later, Kerry, over?
Roger, I might give you a call tomorrow, Michael, but keep in mind they don't need to enrich it when they can get it from Hillary.
They don't need what?
They don't need to enrich the uranium when they can get it from Hillary.
No, has she got a lot in her suitcase, sir?
Where do you think they got it from?
I remember back that some of that came, from a deal that she arranged for them, wasn't it? She got it came through Canada or something. I remember that was about 6 or 7 years ago, wasn't it?
Roger, you got it. There's no need for Iran to enrich it when they can get it from the U.S.
Yeah. Well, they've got different quantities and different grades, but according to one of the fellows that they couldn't possibly have that much. It would take tons or pounds, huge amount of quantity in order to make 11 bombs to break it from 50% to 90%, which they need. Apparently, they lose quite a bit in the volume of the material when they enrich it. That would be understandable. I don't know how it's done. Centrifuge somehow is spitting off the more and more enriched stuff, but he said they could have never amassed that amount of material over there, and I said, well, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. I don't know. All I'm doing is repeating what came out of the horse's mouth from the negotiating side on the Iranian side of the negotiating team. Over.
Roger. But well, sooner or later we got to get access to it, and that stuff is traceable, and as well as using our own money to destroy our country, they're going to find out that Iran was planning on using our own uranium against us.
Isn't that something? Yeah, you're right. I forgot all about the Hillary deal. She did arrange for a lot of that. That one never came up in the discussions in the last couple of days when they were questioning her, though, did they?
Well, they did behind closed door interrogation, and that was supposedly because classified material was being discussed.
Maybe that classified material included some of that uranium transfer then. Okay, well, maybe we'll find more about that as time goes on. Some of that will come out. It's classified only to a point and only to a time frame. Hopefully it will come out. Anyway, you're right, though. It's kind of a fluke that we would be endangered by our own stuff, huh?
Well, if they were using our own money to pay for terrorists against you, that shouldn't surprise anyone. And again, it's just taking a while to wake everybody up.
Yeah. Okay, well, look, I'll look forward to your call in the morning. I don't have anything going tomorrow. Our guests are going to be here tomorrow. But in terms of anybody coming in to do any work for me that involves me being involved, I might say hello to the customers, but I won't spend a lot of time doing what they're doing and making the measurements and stuff that Matt and the boys are going to be doing down on my property here. So give me a call. I'll be available and always anxious to chat. We didn't even quite finish our thoughts the other day. KC5D to you. Over to you, Rob, and maybe you've got comments for Kerry as well, and then we'll move on to Net here. We're taking a long time, but it's interesting stuff tonight. We're in historic times, and it's hard not to talk about some of this stuff. K6MYC. Go ahead, Rob.
Yep, you got that right. It is historic times for sure. No, I was just thinking, boy, I wish I could be a fly on the wall so I could hear what Kerry has to say.
We'll have to arrange one of those get-together there, Rob. If you come into town also, we'd always like to include Mikey, but you're always welcome. If you come in, give me a holler.
Okay, yep, we'll think about it there. I haven't been going down as much as I used to because it's real pain for me to drive with my leg problem with my back, so I don't do much driving.
Okie dokie. Well, we'll make it up. Anyhow, it's good to hear you there, and hope your back gets better. And I've been standing by waiting for a turn and listening, but I was doing other things in the shack here. So I'd better go in and medicate my puppy. So I'm going to say 73s all the way around, and Michael, I'll talk to you in the morning. KC5, DTU.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. I just moved the antenna back into the Bay Area. I'd gone south to pick up your signal a little bit, so I'm back into the Bay Area, and I am looking for other check-ins. Did you have another comment, Rob?
Evans?
Nope, just saying 73 to Kerry. Good to hear him.
Oh, was there somebody else in there then? K6MYC, I thought I heard third voice. Anybody in the Bay Area want to check into the slow-moving but exciting, if you like this sort of stuff, 6-meter Bozo Net, K6MYC, listing and pointing toward the Bay Area. Bay Area for check-ins, please. Over.
AB6 WFC 775.
Here, Mike, 1090.
1090, hang on just one more second, Gary. Okay, Mike, I've got you. 75775, KB6 Whiskey, Foxtrot Charlie. Good to hear you. Any quick comments from you before we pick up Gary there? He's been waiting. Go ahead, Mike.
No real comments. It's just, 54 degrees and clear here. And other than that, good evening, 73, and thank you. K6MYC, KB6 WFC.
Okay, well, try real hard to come on 1296 if you can tomorrow night from somewhere right around 7:45 to 8. That should be about the time we're pointed in your direction. So 7:45 to 8 o'clock, we should have you in there. Love to catch you. And I'm pretty sure we've got pretty stable weather conditions, so it should be pretty good on 1296 tomorrow. 73, Mike. Thanks for checking in here on 6. KB6 WFC, K6MYC for your final.
Good evening. Thank you. 73, KB6 WFC clear.
Okay, you think you can make 1296 tomorrow?
Oh, I'll give it a try. Sometimes I end up getting on the radio too late and the net is closed.
Yeah, well, we're probably good up to about 8:30. I still leave the antenna generally in the westerly direction toward you when I end the net because there's no reason for me to go any further south. I go full north and then come back. So you had to have two shots at me. 7-3. Gary, go ahead, pick it up. WB6 WNI, go ahead.
WB6, sorry, no way. 6 WY. Wow, 6 WYC, WB6 WNI. Well, Mike, I was a little confused because tonight, even though your signal is not strong, I could hear you no matter where you were pointing. So I could hear you. It was like, that's why I wasn't sure around where, but you were readable no matter where you were pointing. So one of those things where not strong, but you were out of it. Yeah, nothing like to say here, but just wanted to step in and say 73 and hope you have a good evening.
Yeah, okay, Gary. Well, I hear the same thing on you. I'm all over the place, and you sound the same. I can't get a peek on you. It's like I don't have an antenna, or I'm turning the wrong one, but I know I've got the antenna on you. Everything's working here. Most of the other stations sound pretty normal, but you're way down in signal strength from normal, so I wonder if the antenna's screwed around or something.
Oh, good. Anyway, I'm just going to stand by you want standing, but you dropped out. Unfortunately, K6MYC, Daisy 679 wind chill, 90
Okay, are you copying me right now, Gary? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Mike. I think the signal dropped below the noise level. Noise level very high, but you dropped below. I was just saying 73. We'll catch you on Wednesday on 2 meters.
Yeah, what I was saying is you're way, way down from your normal signal here on 6. You're very weak. And I don't have any significant noise. I've got a tiny bit of noise up your way, but nothing major. So I don't know whether something's not right or you're running really low power or something on your end. You sound like you're running about 10 watts. Over.
No, everything's the same. But Mike, what's interesting, I could hear you no matter where you were pointed. That's the weird thing. I could hear you no matter what. I will check the antenna tomorrow, but I don't think it moved. But, yeah, it's just conditions, I think, Mike. Good conditions. K6MYC, Daisy 679.
Yeah, could be. Weird conditions. Okay. Thank you, Gary. Sorry to keep you waiting so long here. We got wound up on world news and politics and all the history that's going on. Historical time, so to speak. 7-3.
That's MTV, Mike.
We'll see you tomorrow, or Wednesday, I should say. We won't see you on 1296 tomorrow yet. Okay, who else do we have in the Bay Area? K6MYC, Bozo Net. Well, I don't know. I think we should keep running this 6-meter net. We're going down to a less count that we're getting on 220 and 1296, Rob.
Yep, Mike. I was listening to the stream there. I'm having a hard time hearing people.
Well, maybe it's not me either. I thought he was down from normal. Let me look for, let me see, AF6 United. How about you, Lee? Are you in here tonight or WKW6S, either one, over? And they're not in here either. KW6S, Alpha Foxtrot 6 United, K6MYC. Over, over.
I think we might be past the bedtime, Mike. It's almost 9:30.
Well, that may be. Live time flies when you're having fun, Rob.
Yep, roger, roger.
So much to talk about. I was really stunned by Fred's comment.
Yeah, I would have liked to have heard it so I could kind of get an idea where he's coming from.
You should go back and listen to that section of the stream. It's worth listening to. And Fred really unloaded on it. Vernacular as well.
Okay, I'll go back and listen. Yeah, I know in the past, sometimes it's easy to kind of get him ticked off.
I don't know if he was ticked off at me. He was just ticked off at my comment. He said that's not possible about the 11 bombs, and I don't know whether it's possible or not. He said, where did you get that information? That's bogus. Well, it comes from the horse's mouth. If you can't believe the Iranians, and we had no reason not to believe it, I think our side has pretty good idea exactly how much uranium they have or don't have. If we know where they are, all 41 of them in a building, having a meeting that was scheduled, and everybody was called into this meeting, and our CIA picked up on it and gave the information to the Israelis, and that building was obliterated. We must know how much uranium they have.
Yeah, you would think so.
Or, some pretty good estimate. I think we've got sniffs all over in there. There's 90 million people in that country, and they don't have a very good system. They don't have a good protective system for their aircraft. They don't have a good protective system for their ships, and so they aren't real protective of who is talking. they do have the internet shut down, but their Skylink now has been given to them, several people over there, several entities, by Elon Musk. So the information is starting to pour out on that link as well, up Skylink instead of the internet.
What ships?
What ships? The ones that the naval, the Iranian Navy. All of their 11 ships are occupying the bottom of the ocean right now. Over.
Yeah, that was my point. We took out all their ships. So you just mentioned that they have ships, and I'm like, no, they don't.
Yeah, they're becoming octopus houses these days. Yeah, and they have 100+ aircraft that are fighting type aircraft. I'm pretty sure we don't want to take them out, because if you put the right pilot behind them, those could be very useful. So the boats, on the other hand, who needs them? Those are all probably Chinese copies of some U.S. military boats that we had many years ago, like the boats that Venezuela has are all Chinese copies of our World War II ships. So it may be that the Navy wasn't worth saving, but I think the aircraft is. They've got good modern aircraft, and I understood today on the news, I heard that they had in excess of 100 functional aircraft. And it's easy to take aircraft out because it's pretty hard to hide them underground. We've taken out their entire missile building facilities underground. Not maybe all of them. We're going to miss some. We don't maybe know where all of them are, but that's what the real last MOAB was all about. That was dropped a day or so ago. That was to take out the underground missile building facilities. So who knows? We don't know exactly what's going on, but I listened to enough news sources that I think you can piece it together. The only one that's really become a question mark was because of Fred's comments over there about BS on the amount of uranium they had. And I think Kerry reminded us that Hillary made sure that they had a lot of uranium back 5-7 years ago. It was quite a fiasco about that. Do you remember that?
And Obama sent him a bunch of money.
Yeah, they did. Pallets of all kinds of money in different monetary form, different countries' money, and gold bars and platinum bars and silver bars and all kinds of stuff. About $3.5 billion.
Yeah, they could have used that to buy their uranium from China.
Yeah. I mentioned to Judy, that's one thing to have an atomic bomb and be developing it, but it seems like there's quite a few nations that are not on the best of terms with us that would sell them one. I mean, there's North Korea, there's Pakistan has a bomb, India has a bomb, China has a bomb, Russia has a bomb, and North Korea has a bomb. Any one of those might just sell you one, so at least they could put one on a missile and get it over into the ocean near us. Over.
Yeah, but I think that after all this going on, they'd think twice before they'd cross us.
Well, I would think so, but I'm just saying that earlier they could have just bought one rather than try to go ahead and develop it. They've been fiddling around trying to develop it for a long time. It doesn't say much for the technology when North Korea can do it.
Yeah, I don't know how that came about, but anyways, I did see on the news today that their -1 plane showed a little X on this plane, and next thing you know, it's a big fireball.
Who was in there with the X on it?
I was on a plane. I was on one of the pictures as they were talking. In the background, they were showing all the things that are blown up.
Oh, and there was one plane in the picture that had an X in it?
Yeah, they put their little cross on this plane. Next thing you know, it's a big fireball.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, we can pinpoint pretty good with that stuff, can't you? There may have been a reason for that, but I was thinking right away, there's got to be a reason they haven't taken out all 105 of their aircraft. I mean, if you're going to take out the Navy, why not take out the aircraft? But I think they want to salvage those. They're worth millions of dollars each. Over.
Well, the one that I think that they shot up might have been kind of on the move, so I guess as long as they stay put, they're not going to bother them.
Well, that may be. If they don't leave the ground, they're safe. Okay. Well, I better quit talking here. I'm running out of voice. All right, guys, good evening. Should we go south for anybody?
I don't know. Does, PYP have 6?
Greg, PYP, has never checked in on 6 to my knowledge.
Well, I don't know anybody else down there. Maybe Bill, but he doesn't get on.
Yeah, we haven't heard WA6AAJ or Bill tonight. I don't need to turn for them guys.
Yep, Ken's got a lot of busy stuff. That's why I asked him today. That's why I'm not taking my amp down to him. He's got a lot of stuff to try to get done quick enough so he can get up to see his buddy up there in Oregon.
Yeah, well, that's a trip he has to take. I'm wondering, when he mentioned he was going to drive up there, I wonder why he doesn't fly up.
I don't know. You have to ask him that.
I mean, the weather's good, and it's not that long a flight. I think they could get there in under 2 hours.
I don't know what's involved in doing that. Maybe there's a little more to it than we know. KM6SR.
Yeah, unless his pilot license isn't current, but I got the impression he was still able to train and teach people, so that it clearly means he's still current. Now, whether he doesn't want to fly up there for some reason or not, I don't know. Anyway, maybe he just wants to take the drive and relax, have a few hours on the road with his new machines and stuff. Who knows? We won't question it. That's just the right thing to do for him, obviously, being a buddy from early school days. KM6SRR, K6US, anybody else listening? K6MYC, DM07 Delta Bravo, Bozo 47, closing the 6-meter Bozo Net here on March 2nd, 2026. Good evening, all.
Good night, Mike. K6US.
Give me a count, Rob.
Okay, hang on a sec. Boy, pretty pathetic. I've got 15 on 6 meters, 16 on 222.
Okay, 1.5, 15 on 6, and 1.6 on 220.
Yep, QSL, KM6SR.
All right. I'll take it in and let Judy work it over. I think I've written it pretty clearly tonight. There's not that many, so shouldn't take that long. We'll get something off to you one way or the other, thumbs up, or you win or something, over.
Yeah, it's funny how she tells me that I win when I have more than you got. Anyway, it's, appreciate her help. Good night, Mike, K6MYC, KM6SR, 73.
Okay.
Good night, Aaron, K6US, KM6SR, 73.
Yeah, now when you look at the list on 220, I may have written down 759 on one of those two lists, either on 6 or on 2, or 6 or on 222, because he was supposed to be in there on 222 tonight. So I may have preliminarily written him in just because I knew he was going to be there, and then he didn't show up because he didn't get the tower up in time. So it may be that my count is one more than yours, but 759 on either list tonight is not good. That's John up in Meadow Vista.
Yep, roger on that, KR6MR.
Yeah, okay, 7-3, John, 7-3, Rob, 7-3, Aaron. We'll see you tomorrow. K6MYC.